The sky was stained with soot. A coppery haze hung over the rooftops of Elderglen, as if the heavens themselves had been flayed open. Smoke rose from the outer fields, thick and oily, coating the remaining trees in a skin of ash. The sun was a pale disk struggling behind clouds that seemed to rot in the sky. Crows circled low, not out of hunger, but as if waiting for permission. The banners came first. Tall black pennants torn from stitched leather flapped along the horizon, carried by armoured beasts that walked on cloven hooves and wheeled talons. The creatures bore no emblems, no colours, just shadow. Rows upon rows of them, a wall of silence stretching beyond the eye's reach, encircling the once quiet village with dreadful precision. The people of Elderglen were not soldiers, they were not fighters, they were farmers, candlemakers, shepherds and millwrights. They had never prepared for siege, never carved weapons into their doors. They had temples, not towers, markets, not walls. Now they had nothing but breath, and even that trembled. At the heart of the town stood the chapel, old and weathered but proud, carved from white stone, now streaked with soot. It had rung once that morning, a signal of hope, a call for faith. Then it shattered, and from the silence rose their speaker. He was not a beast. That would have been easier. He was tall, lean, robed in pale silk with threads of gold that shimmered unnaturally. His horns curled like the ancient archways of elven ruins. His eyes, twin coins of molten light, surveyed the crowd not like a butcher, but a sculptor. His name was Zazuth, the Pale Envoy, a high demon not of fire and fangs, but of treaties, of whispers, of offerings. He stepped onto the chapel steps as though born from them, his voice rising smooth and regal.
"People of Elderglen,"
he called, and the square grew still.
"You are surrounded. This is no lie, but it is not condemnation."
The villagers huddled closer. Mothers clutched children. Old priests clutched relics with white-knuckled fingers. None dared move. None dared speak. Zazuth raised his hands, the rings upon them glinting like tiny suns.
"Today is not a day for screams. Today is a day for choice. We do not wish to raze your homes. We do not seek to devour your bloodline. We bring not annihilation. We bring continuity."
He began to pace slowly across the chapel platform, each word measured, each syllable rolling across the cobblestones like silk across a blade.
"We offer governance. You may farm your fields. You may marry. You may bury your dead in your old ways. Your temples may stand. Your prayers may continue."
He stopped.
"But your loyalties must change."
His golden gaze swept across the hushed throng.
"Swear fealty to the Dominion, and you shall live. Kneel not, and you shall burn."
A tremor moved through the crowd. People looked to one another. Was this mercy? Was this hope? A sob of relief echoed from a woman holding an infant. A man fell to one knee. Another followed. Zazuth smiled. Then came the laughter. It was not loud at first. A cough, a choking wheeze, the sound of someone who had laughed too long in the dark. It came from the archway to the old market, where a beggar sat hunched in his usual heap. Cloaked in rags that had once been colour, but were now only damp. His hair hung like mould. His face, mostly hidden beneath layers of grime and shadow, was turned upward in something like amusement. And he laughed, dry, ragged, uncontrollable. The sound sliced through the demon's speech like a knife. Zazuth's eyes narrowed. The laughter grew louder. The beggar leaned back, wheezing between fits, smacking his knee with a fingerless glove. A murmur passed through the crowd. No one knew the man's name. He had always been there, filthy, silent, forgettable. He begged. He mumbled he was nothing, until now.
Silence him,
Zazuth commanded, calm, controlled. A foot soldier, clad in cracked obsidian armor, stepped forward and drew a blade. The demon strode toward the beggar without hesitation. The blade lifted. The beggar did not flinch. He lifted a hand, flicked. The sword screeched sideways, its metal warped as if it had struck iron. The demon stumbled back, blade useless in his grip. Gasps burst from the crowd. The beggar rose, bones cracked as he moved, not from pain but from disuse, as though his frame had not stretched in years. A terrible stillness filled the square. Then came his voice, dry, ancient, hollow.
"Looks like I have to move again."
The words fell like stone on glass. Zazuth took a step back. His smile vanished.
Huh. That cannot be.
The air itself grew heavier.
You are Garen, the god-killer, the cursed one, bringer of calamity.
The crowd recoiled. Shock turned to dread. People screamed, children sobbed, and still Garen did not move with purpose or power. He turned, muttered something about the wine, started walking.
Kill him!
Zazuth screamed, now trembling.
He must be killed by all means. Not a soul native to this world shall watch him breathe. Not a single being. Kill him and earn immortality.
That last word, immortality, struck the mob like fire on dry grass. Suddenly the crowd became a frenzy. Demons charged, villagers surged, swords, axes, pitchforks, all drawn. Greed eclipsed fear. And Garen ran. He did not draw a weapon. He did not cast a spell. He did not roar. He ran like a man too tired to be hunted again. Swords slashed his back. One lodged between his shoulder blades. A pitchfork gouged his thigh. His left arm was severed near the elbow. One eye burst beneath a thrown stone. He made no sound of pain, only his breath, only his footsteps, only forward. The square was chaos. Bodies fell, blades clashed, arrows flew, but Garen ran, dripping blood across the stones, vanishing into the alleys, into the dark. And behind him, a town devoured itself in pursuit of the curse that could not die.